4, 3, 2, 1. I'm taking my do that.
That's okay. Should I be looking at me? Look at you or like look towards the probably a little bit both.
Yeah, that's what I camera to you. What's just like when you introduce yourself?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bald?
One. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of EvansTalk, man. I thank you guys for tuning in. I've been away for a little while, but I'm back. I'm back here. I have a very special guest. I was trying to get him on, but I was schedule skipped on, just whatever. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Come on, man, do your thing.
What's up, guys? The name is Kwame Sarfo, and I'm fortunate to be here with the one and only EvansTalk. And I don't know if he's gonna say it, but someone's got a birthday in the building. I know he don't want to bring it up. I know he's a little shy about it, but someone is 29. Someone just put that out there right now and just let it be, leave it at that. Welcome to the club. You getting there?
Someone called me an old head, and I was hurt. I was like,
that.
damn, man.
That really hurts the soul, man. That really hurts the soul.
Man. Like, listen, I appreciate you for coming here.
Thank you.
How was your ride, man?
The ride was pretty good. Like, it was only like 45 minutes. I live in like this weird part that no one know about. It's called Old Bridge or Parlin. I just tell people like, I live next to Rutgers and Brunswick, just to make it simple.
Basically, he's living in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I live in the sticks. Like,
Copy.
yeah. So people call me, they can't get service because I'm living in the woods. So, yeah.
I don't know how people do that, man. Kudos to you.
Yeah, it's quiet though, but
Kudos to you. Well, you and I have known each other for a very long time. We met.
That's a good question.
I think Essex County.
I want to say Essex.
Man.
Yeah, Essex. That was
We
like
started. Oh, 2015.
yeah, 20. Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Damn.
And we were. Were you in the African organization?
So I was with it at Rutgers.
Yeah.
But not Essex, but I was just like there often. So
Okay.
people kind of thought I went to Essex because
Yeah.
I just used to be at Rutgers, NJIT, Essex, just Seton Hall, just floating around the schools.
I know you was very much also involved in some of the fashion shows that happened in Essex County.
Yes.
I
Ooh.
know. I think I did that with you.
We did. I remember that one time.
Yeah, you and I also did one at Montclair University.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, the other school in Madison. That
Will
college.
it be or Drew?
No, Drew.
Maybe Drew. Yeah.
Drew. We did one
yeah,
in Drew.
We did Drew too. Also.
We did one in Drew.
We were outside, man. We were all over the place.
Yeah, I remember the one in Montclair was just me, you, and O. I don't know if O walked in the show or he was just there.
Damn, that one I can't remember.
Yeah. But I didn't remember O was there.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. Yeah, you and I go back. So
yeah,
since then, what have you been up to?
Since then, life's been pretty good. Like I'm still doing the modeling.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some TV stuff after
we're
Essex.
gonna get into that. Yeah,
I got you. But so far it's been pretty good. Like I've just putting myself back together after the accident, like trying to get the muscle back so I can be macho man, and just getting ready for this next chapter because I'm not like 22, 23 anymore. I'm not entering my grown man state or grown man phase. So
everybody entering grown.
I'm saying like every time I look, everyone is just we all getting older. It's just like
man.
I love it though, but
time
moves. Yeah.
So after all these years, you are still pursuing your modeling.
Yeah.
What made you not give up, and what made you just keep going? Because I'm pretty sure it's been hard, not getting the right agency or whatever. Like, what has kept you going?
I would say for myself, definitely like just motivation, but also just to kind of prove people wrong. Because when I first started in 2014, like there really weren't many black models out there, specifically African, specifically like dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a while before I got signed. Like I was reaching out to agencies in Philly, New Jersey, New York, but they were like, you have the look, but they wouldn't say like you're too melanated,
dark.
but they'd be like, oh, you're just a little too big, or you're a little too young. One time I had young and I was 23. They're like, nah, you're a little too young, come back in 2 years. So yeah, just hearing that, it kind of motivated me just to be like, all right, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So, and not for nothing, remember I told my dad one time, and my dad is like, Ghanaian, like came to America in the 80s.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I want to be a model on the side. He's like, just focus on school. He said,
don't tell the African parent that.
He was like, don't talk about that. Just focus on school, get your degree, and don't waste my time with that. So I kind of use that as like a little bit more fire to then become a model. So I just kept doing shows at every school, like you said, Montclair, basically any show in New Jersey. I was there, getting the photos, networking. Eventually got signed. The first agency it wasn't good. I'm not gonna say they were a scamming agency, but like a lot of models know, usually when you pay for your portfolio, like when you pay for work for the agency, you should watch out for that.
So what's the name?
That's the funny thing. They changed their name like 5 times in the past. It was Wilhelmina Philly is what they went by, and then they changed it to W Talent, and then they changed it again to W Talent New York. So they just keep moving from Philly to New York to like different areas, changing their name. But I remember I was 23 and I made the grave mistake. They were like, "Yeah, you have the look. We're gonna sign you. You just have to pay $2,500 for like a package. Yeah, like the photo shoot, putting your face on the website, modeling classes." And the funny thing was, I took 6 months of modeling classes, but when you're a man, like, there's not much to learn from modeling classes. Like, you just have to learn how to walk, pose, that's it. Yeah, so I did that for 6 months, and I still didn't get a booking. Waited like 8 months, still can get a booking. I started to complain. They were like, you have to be patient. And eventually, so I did it for like a year and a half, didn't get anything, and then I got onto the Ellen show, and then that was able to like help me get other things. So once I got Ellen, I just left that agency, got picked up by a better agency in Philly, Reinhardt, which loved them because they be getting me jobs all the time. So to answer your question, because usually I talk a lot, it's really just there was no one out there. Let me not say it like that. There weren't many people out there who represented us in modeling. Yeah. I think back then the first person I saw was I'm gonna mess up her name. Ooh, I think her Instagram was Owawa or like Destiny Lusu. I think like she's has low cut hair. She was the only Ghanaian model that I saw that was doing what I wanted to do. So I didn't see any males doing it. So I said, you know what? Let me at least try to be the person, or like let me try to be the first one to do that. At least set the tone, set the precedent. Yeah. So like in 5 years, if someone wants to model, let's say they're African, they're Ghanaian, they're tall, they have the talent, but they don't know where to go. You could just ask me. I'll tell you the good, the bad. Like I'll tell you everything. Yeah. Because like when I started, they wouldn't tell me like the full story. They would just tell me enough. I think they were nervous that I was gonna take their spot, or like they felt like there couldn't be so many black models in the space. But I think after 2016, after Black Panther came out, we just started piling in there. Like every time I look, I'd see like a new Senegalese person on the board. I'm like, I like that. I like that.
So how did you get on the Ellen show? I remember when you were doing the Ellen show. Was it like your agent helped you, or that was something that you did by yourself?
So that was by myself, and not to get all like preachy with it, but I definitely want to say like obviously prayer is the first thing. Like I pray to God for like, I didn't pray to be on the Ellen show, but I prayed to do something that would be seen by a lot of people. And like every day, like I still to this day, like I have a little journal where I just like write my visualizations. So I'll just be like, you know what, it'd be so dope if I was gonna be on the news this morning. Like it'd be so dope to see myself on Channel 7 in the morning. So I would just like paint the picture, just be like, I can't wait to be on Channel 7, ABC News. I can't wait to meet Sandra Bookman, whatever the case was. Woo! Yeah, so what year was that for Ellen? Damn. I think 2018. I had an idea because I can do push. I have this weird talent where I do push-ups on my fingertips and wrists. Yeah. So back then, you feel me? Just over here doing all this extra stuff at this weight. So I think I said, what if I make a video with Fat Boy Espo. I was gonna say SSE, but back then he was known, but he wasn't like to where he is now. Yeah. So I said, I hit him up on Instagram, sent him a DM like, hey, I got an idea. Let's just do like a workout video where I'm just doing like my crazy push-ups and you do what you can and let's see what happens. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and he said sure. We shot it. I went viral on his page, and that was it. But then a year later, one of Ellen's producers DM'd me like, Kwame, we saw that video you did with Fat Boy. Would you be able to do that in person in the studio?
What? That's how it happened?
That's it. And I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that. I'll find that DM and I'll take a screenshot because people think like I make it up. She really just reached out, and said I saw your video, and we'd want you to do that on TV. And at first, I thought it was a scam. I thought it was like fake because she spelled she spelled Ellen wrong. So I was over here like, man, this is probably something like 419. It's probably yeah. But then because I really thought it was like someone in Ghana, Nigeria, just trying to
from Nigeria trying to scam
do
you.
something for me. But she gave me the number. It was a Cali number. I called it, and I did a FaceTime just to make sure because, and I saw the face. I went to LinkedIn.
It was her.
It was her. Then I went to LinkedIn just to make sure.
Ellen?
No, not Ellen, but her producer.
Yeah,
and then I went to LinkedIn and make sure like it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. They flew me out to Cali, put me in like the Hilton, took care of me. Everything was nice.
I was first class.
Oh nah, I was first. I wish it was first class, but I feel it because I was like what 25, 24. So yeah, they're not. I wasn't known to not put me in first class, but that was really dope. Then I got to meet Ellen, and once that video came out, I just feel like everybody and their mom saw it. Yeah.
So it's after Ellen. I know Ellen came first.
Yeah.
Did that trigger you being on Steve Harvey's show?
It did, but even like right before Ellen, not a lot of people know because they didn't see it, but I was on TV. I think it was NBC. I was doing a I was doing a fashion show in Philly, and it made it onto the TV, and I think that was like a year before Ellen.
I think I may have saw
Yeah,
that.
like I was just walking down like some staircase in Philly, and when I saw it on TV, I was like, yeah, there's something like. That's when I had the idea of like, I think I could do something on TV. I don't know what it is, but like this wasn't just by chance.
Yeah.
So then after Ellen, I was like, all right, that's the second time. Let me see if I could make it more consistent. So then after Ellen, I did Pickler and Ben showing the push-ups again. So that's time 3. And in my head, I'm just like, yeah, I got the juice. I'm about to become a TV personality. And that's led to Steve Harvey. Was it Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey. Yeah,
No, actually, I lied. It was
before that.
It was The Rock. I met The Rock before Steve Harvey. Yeah. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You met him?
Yeah, Titan Games. Yeah. That shit was crazy.
You done a lot of projects.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Side note, The Rock is he's a dope ass like.
Yeah, I know. Like, I just like I watch him. You know how you can tell. Somebody. It's somebody just like that's just who they are.
Yeah.
On screen really and it's all off screen. I feel like he's just a dope person. I want to meet him one day.
He really is. Like the great part was like he took time out of it because I know he's busy. He took time out of his day to just come and sit with us. Like he actually sat there like, what's your name? Like Kwame's like, Kwame? Did I say it right? Like yeah. Like he took time to really sit with us and like ask us questions like, where you from? Like what do you do? I saw your video of the push-ups, really good stuff, like kick ass. So yeah, The Rock is. He ever runs for president? Dwayne.
Oh man, yes. All of us childhood watching him on TV and on WWE.
People's elbow,
yeah, man. Oh, that's tough. So after him, then he went to Steve Harvey.
After him was Steve Harvey. Yes, after him was Steve Harvey. Sometimes it be confusing getting all the shit in order. So it was The Rock, then Steve Harvey. And after Steve Harvey, it was Sandra Bookman on ABC 7. And I think that was like the last show because right after that COVID came. Yeah, and then COVID shut everything down. Like the modeling stopped.
COVID was just that.
Like we're still in it, but it's just like when it first came or when it first like hit us. Yeah, that thing stopped everything. Like my agencies, they said, unfortunately, like some of them closed for a little bit, like 3 months, 6 months. So yeah, it sucked in the moment, but I think it was like a good reset, just kind of for everyone just to be mindful, understand like where they are in life, what's important to them, and just take a second to pause because life is crazy. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy that you went through all these experiences. And you made it as like that mindset of I'm gonna prove these agencies that were trying to beat around the bush and not tell them the truth because I'm too dark skinned.
That's all it was.
But then you did what you had to do, and you also on Ellen's show. Ellen's show is huge.
That was big, yeah. That was
Steve Harvey's show when it was on is huge.
Like everyone knows.
The Rock is huge. If I'm not mistaken, isn't he like one like either one or the most highest paid Hollywood actor.
I believe so.
Yeah, you know, so all of this stuff, man, you know, people that didn't believe in you or hate on you or didn't think that you can do it, you know, or just when you're down for it to see that, and it burns them, man. That you know, we thank God for that. So with the modeling,
Yeah.
that's your dream.
Yeah. So
Do you have any other goals? Part with the modeling also.
So the funny thing is, like, the modeling, not even to, I know a lot of people have stories of how they became models, but for me, it wasn't even it wasn't even a dream. This sounds, maybe it may sound vain, but I only did it because I found out how much the models are making. Like, I went to a modeling show.
Yo, keep it G.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I still remember his name. I think it was he still models too. His name is Ugo.
Who?
Ugo, UGO. I think he used to model for Wilhelmina in New York.
Yeah.
Like, I went to one of the shows and I asked the girl next to me, like, how much do they pay the models to walk? And she's like, yeah, he's probably getting paid $500 for the show. And it was like a 3-hour show. And I was over here like, I was on some simple shit. I'm like, all right, so we both the same height. We both 6'3". We both like African. We both dark skinned. So what is he doing that I can't do? So that was my drive to get into modeling. Like, some people, they've been doing this since they was kids. They've always wanted to meet Tyra Banks, but I was just about the money. I was like, if he can do it, we like the same height. We the same. We all from West Africa. I'm gonna do it too. So that was my main goal for the modeling. Yo,
it
was really just a little bit
bro,
of money.
I'm so happy to just keep it real, man.
Yeah,
some people will say, well, you know, when I was 6 months,
yeah,
I wanted to. They're like, what? Get out of here.
I just did it just because of the money, and I saw, like, I got the height, I have the face, like, I have the aesthetics. Let me just enjoy it. So that was so like my main goal per se. I don't even know how to encompass it, but modeling is definitely a big part of it. Entrepreneurship is definitely a second part of it.
Entrepreneurship in what?
In the sense of just being able to own multiple brands and businesses. Like, right now I own, I'll say two businesses that I don't even really talk about it much, just because it's not grown to where the level that I want it to be. Only because
it takes time.
Yeah, it does, and I'm a little hard on myself in the sense of, like, I know I've been on Ellen, I know I've been on The Rock, so if I'm bringing something to the stage, I want it to, like, I want you to see, to recognize it. Mm-hmm. But right now, like, the one brand that I'm trying to grow is a Brimpong Home. I started it in Ghana, went back to Ghana for about 6 months. Long story short, we make handmade kente blankets and pillows.
Oh.
And that was different because when I went back to Ghana, Bonre, I told them the idea, and they were like, so you want to take the cloth, this traditional cloth, and just use it as like a bed covering.
Yeah, like a royal cloth. Yeah, you're going to get your hair chopped
off.
So with them.
It took a lot of time to explain it or pitch it to them, and we agreed, but also I told them that I wouldn't take the expensive cloth. Mm-hmm. I just kind of took, like, you know, the cheaper cloths to make the bed. Because when I explained to them, I was like, yeah, people like pillows on their chairs. I'm like, why would you want, like, why do they have blankets just for the chair? Or, like, because they didn't understand the concept of, like, a throw blanket or, like, a throw pillow. They're like, what is that for?
Africans.
Yeah. And I understand it though, but I told them, like, you know what, like, I understand it's cultural, but we can use it for more than just weddings, funerals, or, like, special occasions. Like, there's a market for this, whether they're white, African American, but people want to see something that's, like, bohemian.
Well, maybe they feel like, you know, if it's, like, you know, everywhere like that, it loses value, it loses meaning.
That's true.
But to us, like, you know, when we wear our antema, it's like a sense of pride that we have, like, when we wear it.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So, but I definitely see your idea though. Like, you know, I'd definitely buy something like that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I got you. I will. Another reason why I really wanted to push it was, I just felt like a lot of people were taking, I don't want to say advantage, but I was kind of taking the culture. Like, every time you look, you see someone with, like, a print. Like this, I'm wearing a print, and it's like, it is African. It does represent Ghana, but it's not the actual. Like, this
I have a
is
story.
China.
I didn't mean to cut you. This was like 2 weeks ago. I'm at the gym, and I see this Asian guy wearing full-blown kente cloth shirts, whatever. So I see him. I'm like, oh. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's one of those foreigners that speak Chi.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you got Asians that speak Chi, you got white people that speak Chi. Everybody speaking Tree. So I'm like, so I went up to him. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, you speak Tree? He was like, huh? I'm like, I'm my bad. I thought you did because of the shirt. He was like, huh? Oh, you don't even know what you're wearing.
Yeah, that's.
You don't even know what you're wearing.
You're just wearing it just to wear it, yeah.
And I just walked away. And so I definitely get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying, man.
So I'm just like, we gotta just take it and make some profits for ourselves, because a lot of people out there just, especially, I don't want to bash, but especially China, like if they see something, they would just jump on that. Because for me, I really feel like after Black Panther came out and once it was a hit, everybody was just trying to, everyone trying to come.
I know Africa cool now.
Yeah, no, it is. That's the thing. Everyone want to be African, like, and I love that though. But I'm just like,
I was just talking to my mom about it yesterday, and it's like how I just, I'm not going to be specific about certain whatever, but I was telling her how I just don't like certain people in Africa. I want them to get the hell out, because when these people are in Africa, they are there just to exploit us.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just to take from us, man. So I definitely get where you're coming from. But I want to talk to you about your accident, which I learned about that last month. I mean, you posted it on IG.
Yeah. I
guess that's how long you and I have really been talking.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, what? I almost lost you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
And you told me how the car hit you at 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
What are you, Clark Kent? And you still walking?
I don't know. That's a great question, man. That's a good question. Like,
how did that happen? What, like, do you feel comfortable talking about it?
Yeah, I can talk about it. Like, because like at first, like when, like 2 years ago, like a year ago, it would shut me down. But now, obviously, first and foremost, like shout outs to God for that, because that's definitely a miracle. Bro. Because there's no 60 way.
Miles an hour?
60, and I'm just like,
was the car total?
Her car, to an extent, like she. Like this is what the police told me, like she couldn't drive it away because like her like windshield was messed up, the headlight, her bumper, like she really, it looked like she hit a deer.
Listen,
and I'm just like,
don't surprise the government look into you. You totaled the car and
I
hit you.
I did. They gonna kidnap.
They're gonna try to experiment you. Like, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm just like, what's this man made? The kryptonite or some shit? But yeah, bro. But damn, let me see. Because it's a very long story, but I'll just try to sum it up like how do I just give you like the
so main you was walking, mind your business, like
so
whistling,
I really was whistling too. I was just walking, whistling. I think it was I don't know, like soccer day.
Yeah.
I was just listening to that shit. I saw the light. I saw the little white thing in the box, so I had the right of way. I was crossing the street, and then that's all I remember. Like I just remember seeing like the end of the street. And that's it. And then I woke up, like, from what I remember, I woke up like 3 weeks later, and I was just confused.
You was in a coma?
Not a coma, but they said for the first 2 weeks I wasn't responsive.
You was just sleeping?
Like I was just sleeping, So, like I don't remember anything for those first 2 weeks. They even told me like I wasn't even speaking English, which I kind of believe it. Like they said, because when the car hit me, my head hit the windshield and the pavement. So my brain started to bleed, so that messed up like my speech, and like my mom told me that, and I feel so bad because like, moms are emotional, so like when you only got one child too, that took my mom out. So they said for the first 2 weeks I was not speaking. Like they would ask questions like, "What's your name?" This, that, and the third. I could not speak, and then week 3, which is really kind of odd, I started speaking Tree. And like my Tree is not that good, but it was enough where thank God there was a nurse who was Ghanaian, and the doctors were like, because the doctors were like, maybe like they thought that was it, like my brain wasn't working, and she was like, no, he's trying to communicate, he's trying to say something. And the funny thing is like when they first asked me, like I kept telling her like, Medinde Kwame Sarfo. I was trying to tell her like they keep calling me something else, like at the time they were calling me my government. But I couldn't remember my government name, so I kept telling them like, no, Medinde Kwame Sarfo. And they're like, what is your name, Hubert? I'm like, no, Medinde Kwame Sarfo. And then they're like, there's something wrong with them. So first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, was not speaking. A month in, that's when I was kind of able to understand like, all right, I'm at a hospital. like they explained to me I got hit, but I still cannot understand how, because I'm just like, who gets hit by a car going 65 miles per hour? I'm just like, did you not see me crossing the street? And unfortunately, I'm not gonna play like favorites or whatever the case is, but she was an older lady. She was like in her 60s. We had different complexions. The township where I live in, it's like mainly
I
know
exactly what you're about.
Yep. They gave a toxicology report. She passed it, so it was kind of like her word against mine. And unfortunately for me, I don't remember the car hitting me. I just remember like seeing the crosswalk. So I went to a court. We did the whole court thing, the lawyers, and unfortunately they said it was like her word against mine. And I still don't understand how, if someone drives a car and they hit you, you're at fault. Like, I've never heard that before, but they said there was some sort of stipulation in New Jersey rule. I'm just like,
she probably got some rich ass lawyers.
Maybe. That's
that's
crazy.
What happened?
She hit me with the car.
She hit you 60 miles per hour.
She did.
First of all,
she even lied on that. Like, not even to cut you off. She said she was doing 30, but the officer and even like my doctor said if something hit you at 30 miles per hour, you would not have like a broken neck, like broken hip, like your head would not. You wouldn't have a brain bleed.
Even if it's 30.
That's still.
You was walking, I'm guessing, in your neighborhood?
It was like, it wasn't a highway, but like it was like 2 lanes, but the speed limit over there is like 30. So, but yeah, it wasn't a highway, but it wasn't like a residential road. It was kind of one of those in-betweens. Yeah. So it's still, 30 or 40 is not fast enough where you don't see a person crossing. So I'm like, I know you weren't paying attention, but couldn't prove it. Unfortunately, she passed the toxicology, so it's kind of like...
Doesn't matter if she passed the alcohol test or a piss test. Yeah. She still ran you over.
Should be wrong.
Yeah, because if you would have hit her...
I would have been something else. Yeah. I would have been... I probably been jail. Yeah, I probably got...
That would have locked you up. Yeah. Think about it.
I believe that. No, I really believe that. So that was like... That was one of the most annoying parts, too, because, like, her insurance... They paid for, like... Long story short, my whole thing came up to like almost $600,000, and that's after her insurance was tapped out. Like
that can pay almost 3 people medical school.
That is a lot. That could buy a house. That could buy a couple houses. Yeah. So, like her insurance paid $250. My parents' insurance paid $250, but there was still $600,000 left on the table, and I was over here like, who's gonna pay that? But according to the lawyers and the hospital, the bills were coming to me, and I would just sit here like. But I got hit. No, it was a $600,000 because like that was what was left after.
600,000. And the insurance paid $250.
Yeah. Also, her insurance paid $250. My parents' insurance paid $250. But there was still $600,000 on the table to be paid, and they were trying to send that
extra one.
No, it's just because like I think my total coverage, everything was like about $1 million, and her side paid $250. My side paid $250. So there was still like $500,000 plus to pay, and I was just sitting here like, who's gonna pay for that? Because 1, I don't have it, and 2, I was a victim. But
I would have never paid for that.
Yeah, no, and I didn't. I really didn't. Just ignore the emails, ignore the what do you call that? The mail coming to the house for about 6 months. It just kept coming like stacks. Got like stacks of it. I tried to do I just forgot the name of this. I think not charity care, but something like that. Charity care where like the state or the hospital will wipe away the charges. They said I didn't qualify for some odd reason. There's just so many like different nonsenses that they were throwing at me. So eventually, I was able to get a new lawyer who was able to wipe away the $600,000, which is good. But I didn't get anything for myself for like say pain and suffering, whatever the case is. So he basically said, I know this is like trash, but you will have no, like, you won't ever have to pay this. Like, the $600,000 is wiped away, but that's it. Like, I can't get you something for, like, pain and suffering or, like, loss of work, whatever the case is. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, so...
Sound like some rich white lady.
That's the vibe it was given. That was the vibe it was given.
Yeah, so the deep pockets. That probably know the judge. Told the whole town back in her.
She probably did.
Yeah, man.
And the funny thing is, they told me she didn't have any kids, so even if I wanted to go after like her, maybe through her kids, it wouldn't have. Like she was smart about it. Whatever I don't know what she did, but she was very methodical with it. But the part that really killed me, like even to this day, like I'm over it now. Like like I'm at peace with it. But I was still waiting for an apology or like a little letter or something from her. But I understand I'm not gonna get that. Like I would still be like sometimes I'll go to my parents' house and just be like, any mail. I'll just like try to see if like maybe she reached out, maybe she called the hospital. She didn't call the hospital. She called my parents. She didn't like reach out to the police to see if I'm okay. So I was just like, damn. Sometimes people in this world could be different. Like I'm not saying take the blame for it, but at least check up on the person to see if he's still alive. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I know. I didn't mean to get so deep and mess up the Skittles, man. I know. Yeah, bro. But it was something else. Like
she almost put you in a forever box.
Yeah,
and they wanted you to pay.
That's it. Yep. Basically, and it's just like that was. Like I'm definitely, I'll probably write a book on this because that was like, that was a weird part of life. Because, sorry, not to keep harping on it, but now
go ahead.
Like I'm waking up in the hospital because like now I can't move my neck because I had a neck brace on, and like I got 4 screws in my head because they had to pull it in. Like I couldn't even like sit up in the bed. I had to have someone help me. So now I'm sitting here like, damn, I'm 20 years old. Like I've been on Ellen, I met Steve, I've done all this stuff, and now I'm laying in a bed for like 24 hours a day, and I gotta pee through like a catheter because I can't even get to the bathroom because I have to press the button. Nurses are busy, so I have to wait for the nurses to come. If they don't come fast enough, I'm gonna pee on myself because I don't have any control of like my body yet. And also like my hip, I don't even know how it affected this area, but because they put the screws in my hip, like I couldn't what's that muscle? I couldn't like squeeze my pelvic muscle, so like I would try to hold my urine in, but like because of the pain in the hip, it would just pass out, and I'm like, damn, I'm a whole 28-year-old man in a hospital on a bed, having to have like some short Filipino nurses like take care of me. I'm just like, oh man, it's crazy. And then like my parents, but shout outs to my parents because they were there every single day, like during visitation hours, like they were there the whole time. But even that I felt bad because I'm just like, y'all only got one kid, and like this is what I look like. And also like when you're in the hospital, I didn't get a chance to go outside per se because like whether it was rain or inconvenience. So I felt bad because my mom would come and she would have to like push me in the wheelchair, and I'm kind of big. I'm like 220 pounds, and my mom was like 5'4". So now she gotta push a grown ass.
She gotta push a giant.
Yeah, so she gotta push a giant. Just take me outside just so I could like see fresh air and like see people walking around. Cause in my hospital bed, like the window was this big, so I could just see like the sky. So I'm just like, dang. So it was different. It was different, but we got through it. We got through it. Did it quick.
Well, we thank God for life,
We do.
I'm sorry, how everything went about.
Oh, thank you.
That sucks, but the most important thing is that you're here.
That's so true, and
You're here.
It took me time to realize that. It did.
Because I got into an accident 2 years ago, and I got I wasn't, my mind wasn't like yours, but I remember I got out of the car, and I was ready to fight
Somebody.
And like it was a girl too. She ran a red light. She was drinking Henny and everything, running a red light, and then it hit me, boom! Like thank God I had on my seatbelt.
But I could save your life, but it's just like
I got the car like ready to like fight.
Yeah.
But then I had to step back and like, God, thank you.
Just to assess the situation.
I could have been
could have been bad. Could have gone in different ways. Yeah.
Could have been different. Mind you, I'm gonna keep it G. I was on my way home from doing stuff I was not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So say if I would have died.
That's it. Yeah.
What am I gonna tell God?
Yeah. That's it.
I should have been home. I'll be fresh.
Yeah. It's like that. God gonna be like, what was you doing?
What was you doing, huh?
I was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now get out of here. Yeah. We don't want that. But listen, thank you for coming here, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Anytime.
This was fun, man. Like I said, we thank God for your life, man. Thank God for your life, man.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put his IG handle on there, on the description below. Again, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much, and God bless y'all. Peace.
Be back soon.